What's up, everybody? Aggie back with Pro Source Athletics YouTube channel. Today I want to address a question we got, great question, about why this person's son has their velocity fluctuate so much during a given year. Okay, so what we need to understand about velocity, and I want to blow up this paradigm, okay? I want you to have a better expectation, a better understanding as you're taking your son through the process of trying to get them to the highest level of baseball that they can play at. Velocity will fluctuate during the year. Okay, so let's just say that we have a 14-year-old who's going through, growth in their body, changes in their body, and they throw 70 miles per hour. Let's just pick a number. Okay, at the high end, 70 miles per hour. So then they go out one game and they throw 65 miles per hour. And you go, holy cow, that's a 5 mile per hour decrease. I mean, that's significant, right? Like, what's wrong with him? Okay, nothing's wrong with him per se. Okay, there may be something in his sleep patterns. He may have stayed up too late playing Fortnite. That's a jab at Fortnite right there. But anyways, sleep patterns. Might have stayed up too late. Maybe his nutrition hasn't been good for a little while. Maybe he had an early 8 a.m. game and his body rhythm doesn't really function well until he gets to be 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Maybe his training techniques, maybe the amount he threw that week was more or less than it should have been. I mean, there are so many different factors and variables that can affect velocity. Okay, so we've established that. Now let's talk about the major league level. So at the major league level, this happens, okay? And usually at the major league level, where you have elite training, elite athletes, fully grown men, extremely athletic, and some of the best athletes in the world, great sleep patterns, sleep chambers, okay, excellent nutrition, if I didn't mention that already, on and on and on. So why does their velocity change? Well, again, all the same reasons that I talked about for a 14-year-old, including Fortnite, okay? But anyhow, one of the main reasons for them is they might have a little bit something off mechanically. Maybe their hips are a little bit tighter that day. Maybe where their hand comes out of their glove at the point of primary balance point is affected. There's so many factors that affect this, which then in turn also affect spin on a breaking ball, amount of movement on a changeup, life to the fastball, different things like that. So that is the cool part and the frustrating part of pitching in particular. But let's take this a step further. This can also affect a shortstop, a right fielder, a center fielder, a first baseman. There's so many things that are affected with velocity. So, okay, so now how do we fix this? All right, so the understanding is, picture a car. When you're driving down the road, let's just say that your right front passenger side tire is a little bit lower than the left. And now you have a suspension system with shocks and struts and all that other stuff that is taking more force from the road and more force from the weight of the car than it necessarily should be. But you don't know that, right? All you know is that your car's not responding the way that it should be. And then you pull up to the mechanic and the mechanic goes, oh, your right front tire is a little bit low. Oh, great. Do I just need air in the tire? Well, now that I've, taken a bigger look, it also seems to me that, this is affecting your left front tire, and this is affecting X, Y, and Z. So it's a cause and effect. There's so many things that just may be off, with your son or with a baseball player that can affect this velocity that we're so in love with in today's game. So maybe he doesn't use his legs well. Maybe his front knee comes open too early on the mound. Maybe his timing's off. Maybe he doesn't get to a balance point all the time. Maybe he only does that, 40 or 50% of the time, which is a true number. I mean, honestly, for younger kids. So if this happens at the major league level, it happens so much more so at the youth level. And so then you go to the mechanic, you go, okay, well, help me. And the mechanic goes, you know what? I also noticed while I was under the hood that, the spark plug's getting ready to go. Boom, let's replace that. Sometimes it's really simple fixes. And so in the realm of velocity, we don't want to have this huge heartbeat where we're dropping, 7%, 8%, 10% of our maximum velocity when we're on the mound or when we're at shortstop or we're making throws from the outfield. Certainly not as we get older and we're showcasing for colleges and pro scouts. So what we want to do is have this just little wave, little worm right there that just kind of goes up and down just a little bit throughout the year. But again, going back to how we can affect that ourselves in a positive manner is we have to control our nutrition. If you're a Lamborghini, you don't put in the lowest octane you possibly can. You put in the best octane, and you see how much better that performs, right? And we get with the best mechanic to be able to make the adjustments, make the fixes that are going to help the car run at its maximum peak consistently, right? And then we rest, okay? So yes, our bodies are amazing, and we're human machines, right? And we do so many cool things, and the boundaries that we can do are just amazing, right? But we also need to train properly, and part of that training properly is rest. So we need to take a step back. We need to not be so enamored with just trying to get higher velocity. We need to give our bodies the proper rest, allow muscles, tendons, ligaments to heal, right? And then get proper training, proper sleep, proper nutrition, all the things that are going to help take our game to the highest level possible. So great question. Understand velocity will vary throughout the year. We just don't want it to vary in exponential numbers. We want it to be just a little bit as we go, and be able to build on some of those things as we get older and as our bodies fill out properly. So thanks again for the question. As always, subscribe to value.